This video is intended to describe a Lightblade ring named Sahu. Sahu is a name that means transcendence in an ancient, older tongue. It was told this by the man who runs Sahu Oils, which is represented here, which is a core integral piece of this entire description video. The main ring itself is on copper, has a slight patina to it with a Lemurian quartz. You can't even see it anymore because it's such a complex operating system on one tiny little closed loop circuit that could be technically worn on a finger. So the clear quartz on the bottom of this entire apparatus is actually the main engine of this said device. So one of the core aspects of why this ring is named Sahu, that's quite important to get into before I get into the rest of the crystalline ignition order of this small little device, is Sahu, right here, isn't a lovely, amazing oil company that deserves its own large explanation. Long story short, the man who runs Sahu Oils has access to the best oil in probably the face of the planet. I don't say that lightly. Based on the credentials of this all being distilled and processed and mostly grown in Luxor, Egypt, by... I was looking to start this video over to give it a proper context before I unpack that can of worms. I will just let it flow and roll with it in the rest of this filming. This oil is prepared by descendants of Egyptian mystery school magic initiation rites. So the priest or priestess hood of ancient Egypt has of course transitioned into what is now known as medicine men or shamans of this current modern Egyptian era. So this oil was developed in the custody of these modern day mystery school acolytes that have prepared this oil in the old way from the entire inception process, and even use a old school mortar and pestle with a barn animal to grind and press the oil into form, which is the most pristine, authentic version of this oil to ever enter my custody of reality, to say lightly. And to add more to the story, my friend Jim, who runs this company, has photo evidence of a courier taking these oils into the king's chamber inside one of the Great Pyramids of Giza, inside the sarcophagi in the king's chamber, then does an invocation prayer in another tongue along the lines of enlightenment and blessing for this oil may it serve creation, which is by itself a really, really absolutely fantastic story. And the utilization of 3 oils that Jim has sent me has gone into this ring right here. So this ring, in summary, is designed to be a very powerful signet, sigil, amplification of this Sahu energy concept. This is a magical sigil of the Sahu emblem, sigil, symbol, however you ever want to say it. This connotation iconographically summarizes the Sahu energy, which has a lovely combination of lavender and rose on the surface, which Jim developed. So I took one of the bottles with the pristine sticker, I peeled it off, I cut it to size to actually put it underneath in the bottom of this. Can't quite see because of the focus, but you can see it very clearly in person, transparently through the Libyan gold tektite is his Sahu sticker with blue lotus, red rose, and lavender oil he has acquired from these Egyptian mystical shamans. Yes, this is a true story. It's why I laugh, because even saying it out loud, it's still very mind-blowing to really nerd out on the concept of how awesome that truly is in the true sense of the word. It's awesome. So by taking the 3 oils with the very nice peeled adhesive of the sticker that's found on these bottles, I was able to apply the 3 oils, then apply it to the clear quartz submatrix of this entire device to perpetually seal the energy of that oil that's been homogenized and frequently augmented to have a certain purpose. It's a lot of wordy, far out concepts in one video so far. So anybody watching this, I appreciate your patience, because getting this out concisely and clearly with all these details is quite the tall order, actually. It's such a awe-inspiring situation of really actually speaking out loud and having this film the concept of what this oil is, and my best attempt to back this horse with vibrational engineering through a vibratory construct. So, I will get into the crystalline ignition order for now, then describe the overall purpose of this little flash drive device. So starting with, try and get it to stand straight for this video. Starting with right here, this is Libyan gold tektite. Libyan gold tektite was a stone utilized by the pharaohs of old to be at the center power plate of their Egyptian breastplates, which of course made them the sorcerer kings of that era, and was a central power piece to really embody the solar plexus and sacrum to the highest octave, which was very powerful for manifestation, and like basically the power of god kings of old energy is what this is, as well as a very powerful manifestation frequency of strong prayer intensified throughout reality to manifest in reality. So this has a very heavy Egyptian usage connotation, just as a forewarning for my next descriptions. This is carnelian. Carnelian is an orange ray stone utilized heavily in ancient Egypt as well, as being the masculine antithesis to lapis lazuli found right here. Carnelian has a strong stimulation of the lower three chakras of the base, sacrum, and solar plexus in tandem. A very strong fire elemental stone, also known as the stone of Horus, in the ancient Egyptian criteria of metaphysical usage. In tandem with its natural ancient antithesis is lapis lazuli, the stone of Isis, which is a strong wind elemental stone that stimulates the 5th and 6th chakras. Very useful for past life recall, as well as just one's higher spiritual wisdom in concentration and one's latent psychic gifts coming online, so to speak. So the tandem of these three heavy Egyptian frequencies honors the entire initiative that my friend Jim is undergoing with distributing these most amazing Egyptian mystery school oils back in this timeline. I can't digress enough about how amazing that truth is to finally say it out loud and have it actually recorded in this concept for this description video of the Lightblade ring named Sahu, which is the name of Jim's company. Because when you really break it down, the authenticity of how effective the concept of the ancient Egyptian ways of how they utilize this oil for the golden age of Egypt, when the pyramids are still fully functional, large superconductors, it's it's very awe-inspiring. It really is. I can't keep it together enough to keep a straight face and just say it very pragmatically and academically for this video, because it's awe-inspiring, the concept of what this is. And so, pardon my digressions to anyone watching this. Okay, so back to the crystalline structure. So this right here is rutilated quartz, which works as a super accelerated version of quartz to really amplify the entire output. So the big goal of this device is to really bless, purify, and intensify the Sahu energy by taking the sigil symbol and building a magical platform with this symbol attached to the closed loop operating system to make a very successful broadcast and filter and purification of this energy associated with the Sahu line. So this is where the blade band comes in very critically for this kind of construct goal. This intention is a combination of hematite, which is an iron-based mineral to ground all excess energies into the Earth Meridian matrix, which is very essential for manifestation. By having the frequency ground into the Earth Meridian matrix for processing, it intensifies the making it real aspect and grounding it into reality. In tandem with selenite. Selenite actually is very useful in almost all, actually I take that back, every light construct passes through my hands always has an element of selenite due to many intrinsic important factors. Selenite by itself is a lovely 6th and 7th and non-physical chakra activation frequency that also purifies any densities in the auric field, which is very useful. And most importantly, in any application structure, it will take the entire frequency running through the closed loop circuit, amplify, harmonize, and purify the entire vibratory algorithm for the recipient or wielder of this device's higher benefit of keeping their sovereign spiritual contact patch open of why they've even incarnated, which is a gift in its own right. And further chase that high vibe wind stone with another earth elemental stone called smoky quartz. Smoky quartz in conjunction with The hematite, primarily, many constructs pass through my hands, of course, makes a very powerful purification and negative vibe transmutation. So you can think of any kind of negativity or densities that would interfere with this flow concept to be safely discharged and transmuted and bypassed into the Earth Meridian Matrix for reprocessing, so no negativity really sticks to the internal-external field of the wielder of this device. So the sequential order ignition around this ring is quite integral for the concept of making a successful augmented blessing of the Sahu energy to bless the endeavors my friend Jim is undergoing with this amazingly sacred oil. So when you have the entire high vibe platform of this central diffuser in here, for example, on top of a quartz ring, taking that frequency, grounding it, accelerating, purifying, and harmonizing it, then grounding it again in a sequence, is in effect, in theory, intended at least, to take this concept of Sahu, the magical symbol that Jim has developed, embedded it into the structure of this ring to make a very intensive blessing with ancient Egyptian connotations to keep the authenticity of the vibration of the old ways of the mystery schools alive in this current setting for Jim's benefit, to really keep the synchronicity ratio of anything interfering with his highest timeline, manifesting as the custodian and steward of this amazing oil, to be shielded and protected so that no negative forces, internal and external, can interfere with this destined timeline, far as I'm concerned, as a tremendous blessing in reality. And to further bridge that concept into reality is blue kyanite, which is very effective for rapidly transferring energies throughout reality, as well as particularly the higher mind centers, or the sixth chakra, the left and right hemispheres, to bridge and stitch any kind of thought forms and blockages away from one's highest clarity of truth. And also very effective for rapidly transferring energy from one spot to another. Kyanite's very essential in all light tech as well, for this purpose of rapid energy transfer. So in conclusion, with all these ancient Egyptian connotations of this ring right here, with the Sahu magical symbol, which can perhaps be seen right there like that, perhaps. Get in the sun better. So it's my best attempt with vibration engineering to back the energy of the play of this amazing oil that's come into view as a great privilege to even be in proximity to, due to its amazing authenticity to the old ways of magic, to put it quite simply. And yes, this is my absolute best attempt to make a signet ring that'd be very effective for blessing and augmenting and purifying the emanation as the Sahu archetype as a whole, to purify, accelerate, amplify throughout all of creation, and be a, what can I say? A talisman, magical symbol for the endeavors and blessings of that exact initiative of Sahu. So, after many digressions and a lot of wordy thoughts, that is a description of a Lightblade ring named Sahu. I hope anybody watching this has a great day, 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us all.